Hey guys, um, I just hit the record button. I don't really have my notes, which you can see here. They're closed. And I just have a cup of coffee, half a cup of coffee. And I just hit the record button and I'm going to freestyle. The title of today's video, why is Luffy saving my life, or why or how Luffy saved my life. And I'm coming from a very vulnerable position, at least emotionally and psychologically. 3 days ago, 2 days before Valentine's Day, me and my partner, we called it quits. So, it's not the first time I go through a breakup, but it was definitely a long time. It's been a while since I've had to deal with heartbreak. So every time it happens, it feels, very unique. And believe me, it's something that if you could avoid, you would, because it's so intense. And it really does take a heavy toll, at least emotionally and psychologically. So I just want to be honest. I don't want to come across disingenuous. And one of the things that or one of the many ways you can deal with heartbreak is just keeping yourself busy, The more busy you keep yourself, the less time you give your emotions or your thoughts to kind of worsen. So instead of lying in a bed and crying or waiting for a lot of time to pass and seeing if time heals this wound, my life has not really changed, except for the fact that I'm no longer with her. That's the only difference. And yeah, like I said, it's not the first time I go through this. And when I have before, I've been through heartbreak a few times. And in that lapse, I've been very depressed. And perhaps the worst heartbreak I had was with my second to last girlfriend. I spent 3 years in a bed I'll show you, in this very exact bed that you see over there. I spent almost 3 years there without moving. And one of the things that I did a lot to pass time was watch a lot of anime. And I watch a lot of One Piece. And I have the man himself, the protagonist of One Piece, Luffy. And in many times he saved my life. I don't know if this is a popular or an unpopular opinion, but I'm beginning to think that I am a lot like Nico Robin, the archaeologist and perhaps one of the smartest Straw Hats, and one of the most, one of the characters that has had one of the most tragic backstories. All right. And I've been kind of replaying this event. One of the most epic and memorable moments in One Piece is when the Straw Hats go rescue her uh, not from Marineford, but from this, and not from Impel Down. I forget the name of the place. But yeah, they have to fight CP9, Spandam, and they take a water train to go to this, like, marine fort. And Nico, Robin, and Luffy have a very important exchange. And Luffy's looking at her at one point, and he asks her, like, Robin, I need you to say it. I need you to say that you want to live. And Robin starts having a flashback, and she remembers Saul, which is one of the characters that she's bonded with the most, a long, long time ago. And Saul tells her something like, one day you will find a family or a group of people who will make you feel beloved, important, and who will risk their lives for you and for the sake of your happiness. And Robin's crying all this time, and eventually, after that flashback, she screams from the top of her lungs that she wants to live, and she wants Luffy and her friend and his friends to take her out to sea and to go to adventures, more and more adventures. And that's all Luffy needed to hear. And yeah, Nico Robin might be a woman and I might be a man. But I'm only looking at this from a very emotional and psychological standpoint, Because everybody, at one point, especially me right now, I need a hero. I do. And I replay this scene. And when I replay it, I can also see Usopp burn the Marine flag and the Straw Hats, or Luffy declare war on the entire world just for the sake of one person. One person he really needs, and one person who he considers family. And that has to be one of the most beautiful moments in One Piece. The other day I made a Naruto video discussing, what Naruto, the anime and manga, can teach us. And I gave four reasons that Naruto can teach us. And the third point was, if you have a good support system and you're consistent and you're disciplined in the dream or in the ambition you're partaking, you will make it. And my favorite scene in Naruto has to be when he returns to Konoha from fighting pain. And you have this full circle moment. Naruto in the past, he was so lonely, so depressed. And he was just a boy, a kid, longing for affection, for love. And he worked his ass off to, to realize himself. And when he returns to the village after defeating Pain, everybody in the village is welcoming him with loving arms. And they give Naruto his praise, the praise that he was looking for so long. And it's a very emotional moment. And in One Piece, that moment, even though it's not so celebratory because the celebration occurs when Luffy defeats Lucci and they're finally able to, go back. And even then they lose Mary. So You're continuously like bombarded with such a high emotional intensity moment. You know, you fluctuate between like happiness and sadness. One Piece has the tendency to do this very, very often. Eiichiro Oda really knows how to make you fluctuate between emotions. You know, it's like there's never a dull moment in One Piece. Once you get like submerged into this story, and you could argue it happens very early on, if you're not like convinced that One Piece is it by Arlong Park and Nami's backstory and how Luffy defeats Arlong, then I don't know. You maybe haven't had the point. Maybe didn't come across. But One Piece is a very beautiful story, and Monkey D. Luffy, the protagonist, is genuinely out here saving lives. And it's sometimes strange that fiction has so much power and has the peculiar ability to, you know, save you. In this case, save me from myself. You know, honestly, I don't know what I'm thinking or what I'm feeling. I know I'm feeling a lot of sadness and despair and anxiety because being fresh out of a relationship, and a relationship that was very significant and where there was a lot of love, being fresh out of that place is certainly devastating. Like I'm really going through it right now. And yeah, you know, I rather talk to a camera. This is like my way of coping. Because I don't know, I don't want to bother anybody. I don't want to, like, if I have this conversation with people, and believe me, I've had it already. I've had it with my mom, I've had it with some friends. But my older brother, I told him via text, I was like, well, me and Mrs. Skits, we split. And he wanted to call me and like to talk about it. You think I want to have the conversation 20 times? Like, I don't want to replay something so painful over and over and over again. It's just, like I said in the last video, I just want to do it once. I don't want to go through telling the same story over and over and over again. And one of the things that is definitely cheering me up is this guy. You know, and I have a lot of free time now, I guess, because, you know, relationships are time consuming. You know, every single kind. You know, your friends, your girlfriend, your significant other, your husband, your wife. You have to devote a lot of time to you know, to maintain them and to keep them healthy. You know, a relationship, regardless of what kind it is, it's like a flower or a plant that you consistently have to water. And if you stop watering it, it like disappears. It dies. It withers. It dries. So now I have a lot of free time because me and Mrs. Skits used to spend a lot of time together. And now I have all this free time to, you know, come to terms with what I'm feeling or what I'm thinking. And I can recognize that I'm not myself, you know. I'm not, this version of me is like conflicting. And I guess I wanted to make this YouTube video. I just hit the record button because I need to distract myself. I need to keep busy. And well, my livelihood is YouTube. You know, that this is what I want to do for I don't know if for the rest of my life, but for a few years. I want to grow. I want to be better. I want to have more subscribers. I want to have a bigger community. I want to be able to do things thanks to my YouTube channel. And one of the things that I always tell myself is, I have to keep it genuine. I have to keep it authentic. I'm never going to make a YouTube video. I'm never going to force a video. I'm never the type of person who sits down and hates editing. It's a tedious process, I admit, but I actually like editing, especially when the video from raw starts developing into a much more complete piece. And I don't want to have a negative relationship with my YouTube channel and with my livelihood. I want to love my job. I want to love what I do. And I want to be authentic. I want to keep it real. So yeah, we started out in this YouTube channel with anime. That was the niche that I started out with because it's something that I'm very passionate about. And certainly One Piece is one of my favorite manga and anime. And I hit the record button to start talking about Luffy and why he's my hero. Or one of. And then I started talking about how I feel like I am Nico Robin. Right now I need somebody to save me. And the irony is, in situations like these, people from the outside, your family, your friends, your siblings, they certainly can help you throughout the process of making heartbreak a more pleasant thing. But the only person who can really do something about it is you, me. And it's something very subjective. It's relative. I don't know how long I'm going to feel like this. I don't know how long I'm going to feel broken. But now I'm not 15, 16 years old. I'm not the kid who experienced heartbreak for the first time. I can remember myself back then, and man, it hurt way more than it hurts now. It's kind of like the same feeling, but now you basically have more experience, and since I've lived this more, and it's not something new, I kind of know now what to do. The first time, let me tell you, I think the first time a person experiences heartbreak, it's brutal. It's brutal. But, yeah. So I have free time. I have a lot of free time. I think I'm going to start regularly streaming on weekends. And I have to apologize if this video is all over the place. I don't have a script and my thoughts disperse, But, yeah. I guess to not end this video on such a bittersweet note, I want to take the time to show my appreciation to all these people who come up with these amazing stories. These writers and these illustrators, these mangaka. The creator of Naruto, the creator of Dragon Ball, the creator of Hunter x Hunter, Full Metal Alchemist, Evangelion. I could name some by name, but and of course, to the man, the myth, the legend, Eiichiro Oda, the creator of One Piece. In times like these, it's been manga and anime who've kind of held my hand throughout the process of getting over a broken heart. I'm really not the type of person who likes to bother others with my nonsense, I guess. And I keep to myself. I've always been like this, I can just smile and have like a bullet wound. Like I know how to pretend to be okay. And in silence, one of the things that saved my life many, many times is anime and manga. So if you, by any chance, watching this YouTube video, have a broken heart or a broken mind, watch anime and watch One Piece. Because I'm pretty sure that Luffy can save your life or somebody in One Piece. Just the same way Luffy saved my life. So, yeah. See you in the next YouTube video.